Oculus Rift. I knew thee well. I got something to say. I have a specific issue with VR content right now. Yes, I'm pretty sure by now there's a lot of interesting content. A couple climbers, a couple of space shooters, actually a lot of space shooters. That game where you're trying not to die by disarming a couple of doomsday devices. But for the longest, I've actually been waiting for just a specific game that really says, yes, we have arrived at the VR revolution. This is the game that everybody's going to want to buy, that everybody wants VR for. I don't know what game that is just yet. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of notables. Eve Valkyrie looks amazing. Moss looks delightful. Pretty heartwarming experience, I'm pretty sure. Robo Recall looks really cool. And let me see, I got a list here. Gunheart, Abduction, Damaged Core, Stormland, which is 2019, which actually, that looks really good. That's from Insomniac. And Wildlands and Wildlands 2, apparently. Both of them, and none of these I've actually played. So to be fair, yes, I could be outside looking in. But at the same time, it's like, okay, if these games were so grabbing and so the it factor for VR, then why haven't I gotten them already? Honestly, part of me really just wants a first-person shooter. But yeah, the whole issue with first-person shooters, if you're not aware in the VR scene, is that, yeah, first-person shooters in VR makes you sick right now. And yeah, I don't really get motion sickness, but yeah, when you play a bad VR experience where things aren't really tailored to the way your eye and perspective is, and I think the whole thing with the locomotion problem is that you don't really have a way to really gauge your internal compass, so the fact that you're not moving with the steps kind of creates a kind of weirdness in your brain or something like that. It causes an off balance and causes motion. I don't know, but there's some tricks from what I understand that help combat that. Some with blurring the size of your vision, so you limit your depth, your field of vision. A lot of scientific stuff, whatnot. But yeah, the locomotion problem is a big problem. So a lot of the developers right now are going with a teleport solution, and for a first-person shooter, I don't want to play that way. I want my first-person shooter, I want to go pow, 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 the way I want to. I want it this way. Ow, ow, ow. Whew. That was actually more tiring than I thought it would be. But yeah, there are some games that allow you to go either or. I think Skyrim lets you do that. I think also Fallout VR allows you to do that. Personally, I think it might just be more of an adaptation problem of just people just getting used to the new experience. Like, it took me a while to actually even get used to the Xbox 360 experience when, you know, everything was all glass and shinies and all that other stuff, and oh, this was the future, it's just shiny, overblown textures and all that other crap. It took me a while to get actually used to just looking at that on an HD screen. It made me sick for a little bit, but after a while, you kind of get used to it. So it might just be the same thing here. Like I said, Stormland from Insomniac looks really, really good. But until that comes out, or something else that tickles my fancy actually comes out, guess I'll be finishing Lucky's Tale eventually. Which by no slack is no bad game. It's not a bad game. It's endearing, the fox is cute, and you have a pig friend who you play with a ball with at the beginning of the game, okay? Piggy's cool. Don't mess with Piggy. Anyway, time for the question of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Question is, have you ever won a contest? Maybe a race, maybe a raffle, maybe the lottery. Personally, yeah, actually, I did win a contest. Funny story. It was actually a contest by Cartoon Network, believe it or not. It was actually a Powerpuff Girls Game Boy Color, I think at the time? Or Game Boy Advance, one of them. A Game Boy game contest in which you would get a free Game Boy along with the Powerpuff Girls video game. So obviously I wanted the Game Boy. Other than the Powerpuff Girls game, I would probably give it to my sister or something. Or I would just probably play it. Don't judge me! Or I'll throw some Mojo Jojo on that motherfucker. Yeah, so interestingly enough, I actually did win the contest. And part of the procedure was that you had to fax. Remember that? Oh yeah, kids, the faxing is a thing, along with beepers, back in the day where, you know, God, I'm old. You had to fax in your information to Cartoon Network, and then they would verify that you were the person that actually won, and then they would send you your prize, apparently. Well, apparently in the very fine print, The contest was void in Florida. So yeah, those little little lines that scroll at the bottom of the screen that you can barely see because you're watching it on a friggin' 4x3 TV resolution 480p display, whatnot. Yeah, you can't see that. Well, whatever, I guess it beat dialing the 1-900 number, remember those? Yeah, I probably should do a thought locker on throwbacks like 90s stuff. Beepers, Pogs, remember Pogs? Anyway, I'm old. That about does it for this KEYJAY's Thought Locker. So everyone, you already know what to do. If you like this and you want to see more of this kind of content, please subscribe and hit the notification bell icon. And of course, if you want to support me and all of my musical endeavors and all my other creative endeavors, then yes, there is a Patreon. It's in the description below. Alright everyone, this has been KEYJAY signing off. Later.